All right, so we are going to start out talking about the different correlations with examples and then just working our way up from there. So, let's just talk through, look in your book. So you need to open your books to page 117. Yes, 117. Yeah, a little far into the book if you go that far. I'm not even sure. No, there definitely are that many pages. But alright, so we're just going to look at 3, 4, and 5 really quick, okay, and just talk through them. What kind of correlation is 3? Negative 4? Positive and 5? Yeah. No correlation. Okay. So that's just an example of what they look like. We kind of drew a little picture in the notes on Friday of those. Alright, so the next one says to tell whether the correlation coefficient for the data is close to -1, -0.5, 0.5, or 1. Okay, and we're just going to be making an approximate guess for that, basically. So with 8, you have something that looks kind of like that. So we talked about the option of having, no correlation, and then we had positive and negative, and then we said we can either be strong positive or strong negative, or weak positive or weak negative. And so we kind of want to think about that when we're determining the value. But, yes, you have a question? No? Okay. So with one like this, okay, we're looking at the correlation of it. Okay, what does it look like is happening here? Straight in what sense? Can you put that down, please? Yes, okay, so it is going positive, but not by a lot. So is it strong or weak? It's weak, okay, meaning we would choose the positive 0.5 option. Yeah, because basically the instructions say to pick -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5, or 1. And so in this case, it is positive, but it's not super strong. So we would just say it's 0.5. Okay, kind of splits the difference. With these ones, you're really purely just looking at what's happening. Let's do another example. I'm just not going to do one in the book, because I want to leave the other ones for you guys to do. Do what? Alright, how about one like this? It's strong negative, so what value would we put on R? -1. No, you don't have to draw them. You can just write the number for these ones. I'm not going to make you copy over the graphs or anything like that. Let's see. How about, what would that one be? 0, okay, because there's no correlation there. How about that one? Weak negative meaning what? -0.5. Any questions about these? You feel okay with it? It's really just purely looking at it and just kind of guessing right now. These ones aren't like anything specific. Alright, so then your next page, best fitting lines. In exercise 10 through 15, draw a scatter plot for the data, approximate the best fitting line, and estimate y when x is equal to 20. So basically, we need to write an equation for the line based on the given information, and then, well, we're drawing a scatter plot, writing an equation for the line, and then estimating y when x is equal to 20. So, 10. And I am going to copy the table for these ones. You don't have to when you go to do the problems, but it might be easier if you do. Alright, so when we go to draw our scatter plot, okay, it doesn't have to necessarily be perfect, but we are going to have x values. Okay, and you only need quadrant 1, you don't need anything else. I'm going to go in increments of 10. So make sure you do label what you're using. Okay, and then you're just plotting points at x is equal to 1, y is equal to 10, x equals 2, y is 22, x is 3, y is 35, x is 4, y is 49, x is 5, y is 62, Yep, it is strong positive. Okay, we would want to be finding now, so this was part A. So we want to find that best fitting line for the data. Deciding how nice I want to be. Do you want to learn how to use your calculator? Yep. Okay, so my requirement, if I'm letting you, yes. If I'm letting you use your calculator, is that you still have to show me all this stuff on the paper, okay? But you can use your calculator to help you get there. Alright. I need to do something on my calculator here to clear something, so just give me a second. Alright, so on your calculator, and try to put it here so there's not too much of a glare, but I might have to. Can y'all kind of see this? I'm most worried about you being able to see the screen, but I know your calculators don't all look identical to mine, but the buttons are pretty much still in the same place, I think. Alright, so we're going to go to the stat button here. You're going to hit enter, and then your first option is edit, so we're going to hit enter again. Now in L1, I'm going to put my x values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, hold on. Hit stat, and then the first option is edit. It's already highlighted, so just click enter. Yes, enter's in the bottom right. There we go. Alright, so now you're going to type in the numbers for x, okay, which were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you type a number, and then you hit enter. Okay? Okay, once you get that one, arrow 1 to the right, and we're going to do the L2. Same way, we're going to do the y values. So that's 10, 22, 35, 49, 62. Okay, and I would always recommend going back and just checking to make sure you put the right numbers in here. Making sure you have the same number of numbers in each column. Okay, things like that, just so you don't run into any issues. The delete button will delete a number, but you'll have to like arrow up to whatever one you want to delete. What part? To get to here or to like type in numbers? And I'm going to let you know you may want to write these steps down on your paper. I can write them down and y'all can copy them. But you are probably going to need to refer back to this until you get used to using your calculator. Okay, well I'm not going to add those steps. I think those should be common sense. Yes. Okay, so stat edit, type in numbers, and then... Wait, it's going away. What? Why is it going away? It's solar power to enter. Where are the arrows? Yeah, just the arrows or something. And it's like it's a... Yeah, typed in correctly, correct numbers. It's not as big of a deal when you only have 5 numbers because it'll be a little easier to see, but if you end up taking stats with me, there's a problem that they're doing tomorrow that has 45 numbers that have to be input into the calculator. So, not as critical right now, but will be critical if you go on with math or if you have numbers or problems bigger than these 6 here that we're looking at right now. Alright, does everybody have these typed in? Because I don't want to move on until I know that we have that. At the end, I'll show you how to clear your list so you don't have to like type over them too. Like if you need to clear a whole list. Yeah, so second and then the mode button is quit, so that's why I was just saying like what button to hit. Hit the second button, then hit the mode button, which will cause you to quit. Okay, so then your screen should be blank. Now, we need to do something because I'm assuming you guys might have graphed something on your calculator at this point. Okay, you shouldn't have to do this every time, but if it's not working when you try to graph this, this is going to be the problem that's causing it. Hit y equals and make sure these are off or cleared or something. Okay, if you have something in here that you need, then like if I'm like, I need this to stay here, I don't want to delete it, I can go over, where the equal sign is blinking, I can hit enter and it turns it off. They're still in your calculator. Your calculator is really smart and it's remembering what numbers we just put in. Okay, I'm just showing you what could be the problem. I'm just going to clear this because I don't want this here. You don't need that. I was just showing you if you had something there but you wanted to keep it. If the line's really important to you and you want to keep it, what to do to keep it. Okay, so go back to your home screen. So hit the second mode, which is quit. Okay, and a lot of times I'm going to say second quit. Just know that I meant hit the second button then the mode button, which means quit. It's just a habit that I just say second quit. Okay, so now hit second, And then the y equals button has the word stat plot written over it. Okay, so second. And I'm just going to write stat plot because that's the way I'm always going to refer to it. Just know that it means second, and then the button that has stat plot written above it. Now, all your plots probably say off at the moment. Does anybody have more than one plot on? Okay. Okay, really quick, if you have one on that's not just the number 1, when you click on it, just arrow it over, hit off, and it's gone. Okay, so if you have one that's on, I don't know why you have one that's on, but if you do, you're here? Is what you're saying? Yeah, then hit enter, and then turn it off, and then just hit second quit. Once you're, so whatever one is highlighted is the one that's the case. So your screen doesn't look like this. So if I click on this one, yours doesn't look like this. So yours should look like mine. Okay, hit second. We'll see what happens. Just go to, okay, second, go to stat plot. Click, just use the first one for right now. Hopefully it's off. If not, I'll look at each of your calculators in a minute. Okay, you want to turn this one on. So on should be selected. Okay, your 5 was probably like turn all plots on, so you need to go find the option that says like turn all off. Can I look at yours? Okay, 4 is plots off, 5 for you guys is plots on. So by clicking 5, that's why it did that. So that doesn't mean that that individual plot was on. No, hit 4. So turn all of them off. Oh. Now what do we do? Go back to y equals? Now they're off. Now mine are all on. Hit second stat plot. Second stat plot. Now just click the number 4 on your calculator. Click the number 4, hit enter. Now they should all be off. You have a question? Okay. You're just in time because we're learning our calculator right now. Yes. It's because you have 2 things here. Now you're done. Yours is good. Yours is like mine. You don't have to worry about that. Everybody else is good? All of them off except we're about to use number 1. Hold on. You have like a whole bunch of stuff stacked here. There you go. Now they're all off. Alright, is everybody's calculator good now? Okay, go to second, stat plot, turn stat plot 1 on. Alright, so once you select it to be on, we're looking for this one here that's got the dots. Okay, the dots that aren't connected. Okay, for me it's this first one. If you have the newer calculator, I think they're in a different order, so just find the one that's not connected. Hit enter again. Okay, as soon as you select that, it should have brought up a Y list option as well. Okay, do you guys already have L1 and L2 typed in? Does anybody not have those there as automatic presets?
Oh my gosh, I just messed it all up. Oh, never mind. Yeah. I think we're good.
Then I'm going to give you guys time tomorrow to do it, okay? Because I'm not going to make you guys just take home homework because I'm trying to teach you to use your calculator. Alright, so after you turn stat plot 1 on, you select the type and it should bring up X list and Y list. Okay? Does your X list and Y list have L1, L2 in it? Is anybody's missing that? Okay, really quick, just in case it happens to be missing or you use a different list, something like that, you would hit second and then the stat button, which brings up all your lists, and then you just hit the one that you need. Okay, and it'll put in the one you need, but you have to do the list option or else it's not going to work. Okay? Then you can pick your favorite mark. If you have a color calculator, I think it lets you choose a color and everything like that, so y'all can do that if you want. I like the star because it's easier to see. But does everybody have this information here on this screen right now? Alright. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to write down everything we've done so far. Scatter plot, X list, L1, X list, or Y list, L2. The mark you don't have to worry about. Okay, so now everything is typed in that you need to this point. Now what you're going to do you see this button that says zoom up here in the middle? Hit zoom. Yes. Now, if you have two options here, okay? You can arrow all the way down every time to the one that says stat. Okay, zoom stat, that's the one we want. Or you can just hit zoom and then the number 9 on your calculator and then hit enter and it'll do it for you. Okay? So zoom 9, boom, it is graphed. There's not an undo button. Yes. Okay, so hit zoom 9. Once you have all that stuff in your stat plot, you just can hit, it doesn't matter. If I clear this and I'm like, oh no, where'd it go? I just hit the graph button and it comes back. Where were you when you pressed that? You were here? We'll get there. We're not done yet. Okay, so zoom 9, enter. That's going to bring up your graph. Now, that was just part A of those problems. Okay, once you get used to this, I promise it will literally be super fast, and you'll just be done with them like this. Zoom 9. 9 is the stat option, so if not, it'll come up as a weird graph. What do you mean? I mean, I can, but we're not working on that right now. Alright, so now we want to know how to get that line, right? Part B? Okay. Just hit the graph button and it'll go back. No, it's just funny because everybody's like, this happened. I'm like, just hit this button and it'll fix it. I had somebody's calculator the other day. It was so messed up it wouldn't do anything. And I was sitting here. I played with it for like an hour and finally got it to work. Anyways. Okay, so now hit second, quit again. Okay, clear your screen. Alright, now I want to know what the line is. So what I'm going to hit is stat. I'm going to arrow over 1 to the one that says calc. Now, you see this right here that says ln reg and this is ax plus b? What is that an equation of? A line. Like y equals mx plus b. Okay, ax plus b is the equation of a line, so I want option 4, so hit option 4. You're on mode, I think. Hit second quit and it'll go away. I think you just hit the mode button without the second. Did it work when you just did that? Okay. Sometimes it makes you put a frequency in, so that's why I was checking. Alright, now, when I do this, if I want to be able to graph that line, okay, you see this option where it says store EQ? Okay, so you're going to hit, I have to remember which button it is now. I just don't use this function very often. Nope, don't do that. Hold on, let me look at it for a second, then I'll tell you which ones, that way y'all aren't confused. Okay, hold on. So when you get to your thing here, you don't need to put anything in frequency list, okay? If you ever have to put something, just put a 1, okay? But it shouldn't require you to put something there. So we want to store the equation in our y equals, okay? So I hit alpha, okay, the green button, and then this trace button. It's going to bring up F4, okay, and this brings up all your y equals. I'm just going to use y1 because I didn't have anything in my y, like my y's. So I hit enter. It's going to store it in y1. Hit calculate. Just arrow down and hit enter.
Mine doesn't look like that. Mine says 8 or 13.1. Mine too. Oh. Oh my God. Even I got that. You really got. Mine says 8 equals 13.1.
Hold on. The trace button. Well, y'all's has the right thing on it. Mine just doesn't. So now I gotta figure out what happened. Oh, they're both L2. That's what's happening. Okay, I just had the same thing typed into both lists. That's why it gave me that. So y'all's is correct. Okay. There we go. That's what you should have.
Why do you have the R2 and the R4?
It's probably just a function thing. You don't really have to have that. Well, okay. Do you have just the R?
No, we don't have the R at all. We just have A and B and Y. We just have the Y equals A equals B.
I'm thinking about it because R is that correlation coefficient.
What's that?
The negative 1 to 1. Okay, so then the way you write your equation, I'm going to just write it over here. Okay, so the equation, okay, for the best fitting line is y is equal to 13.1x minus 3.7. Arrow up.
Nope, it says done.
Hit it, just arrow up again and hit enter.
Enter. That's not it.
Okay, then you're going to have to go back and do the whole thing again.
Really, right now? I don't even know where to start.
Stat.
Okay, just hit stat, calculator.
Stat. Then the number 4, which is linreg.
Number 4, I don't know what you call it.
It'll already be set for you. You're just going to have to hit the word calculate again.
Okay, hit 4.
Yes.
Enter. Oh no, that's a zero. That's not even. Oh, I got it. I need help. You can figure it out. I didn't have to hit the trace thing this time though. I don't know what happened.
Did it already have Y1 set? Because if not, your Y1's not going to be there.
Okay.
Because now if I hit y equals, my equation comes up, which is the equation that I just wrote down here. Okay, for the best fitting line.
What was supposed to go next to
And what?
where you hit calculate? Where you
Alpha trace, which is F4. Okay, so this is your equation here written out if your calculator doesn't give it to you. Some like older calculators don't always give it to you. So now if you go back to your graph, you're going to notice there's a line that shows up now that is the best fitting line. Okay, so it almost goes through all the points. It's very close. Yeah, just hit the word graph again. They do make high-tech ones that do. For a couple $100 more.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, now, okay, it wants us to estimate y when x is equal to 20, so, super easy. I saved it in y equals when I put it in the stat. I saved it in y1 when I did the one reg thing. Yes.
What did you just do?
Hit second quit. Alright, so now I want to know I want to know y when x is 20, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to say 13.1, whoa, not that, 0.1 times 20 minus 3.7, 258. 0.3, yes. Okay, so for part C, what I would want you to do is I'd want you to do 13.1 times 20 minus 3.7, and then show me that it's 258.3. That way I can see you know what you're plugging it in and everything. Okay, so that's what you need to show me. Okay, so basically you're using your calculator, but I still want you to draw the stat plot yourself like this and then just check it with your calculator. Basically, I'm letting you use your calculator to get the line and then just to plug the number in. Yes. I plugged in 20 for x.
So what do we do now?
258.3. And it will not take you that long. I would have probably just done that in under 2 minutes if I just did the problem. Once you get used to using your calculator, it'll be super fast. Nope, I just wrote it here. 13.1 times 20 minus 3.7, and I plugged it in my calculator. So you have to show me what you're plugging in here. Okay, I'm not just going to take a number answer for that, like that part. Yes. Because that's what the book told me to plug in. Alright, I'm assuming y'all want to do another one. Okay, we are going to do another one. You don't have to, okay, here, I'll show you how to clear your list, but you don't necessarily need to do this since all of these ones have the exact same number of elements. Go to stat, whoa, not that button, stat, clear list, and then down to the one that says clear list, then hit second stat, which is the list options, L1, and then it's cleared, and then I can do the same thing to clear L2. Second stat, or not, hold on, sorry, just stat. I think it's number 4 is clear list. Then when you hit clear list, then it's going to want to know what list, so then you're going to hit second stat, and then L1. And then if you, did you hit enter to make sure it says done? Make sure you only have clear list L1, because earlier the reason with the stat plot problem that everybody was having was that it said like stat plot off, stat plot off, stat plot off, and then you guys tried to hit enter so it doesn't do it. I mean, you don't have to use a calculator. You can do all this by hand. You can find that equation by hand if you want to. That's what I thought. Make sure you only have one argument on each line. Yeah, you can. Yeah, so just hit y equals and then just hit clear and it goes away. Okay, also go clear your y equals, so hit y equals and then clear. I hit y equals and then I hit clear. Okay, please put that down. Where did you get that from? Okay, so why is it off the window? Okay, please go put it back at the window. Alright, let's do another problem now. Well, it's because you're learning how to use your calculator, because I think y'all prefer me to teach you how to use your calculator than just throw you in and say figure it out. I haven't said yet. Y'all want 12 or 14?
14, the harder one.
14. Alright. Just so you know, on a test, I would give you a calculator page, so you don't have your calculator for the whole thing. You'd only have it for this section.
Like, are we going to be using our calculator on the test Friday? What if we forget all those steps? Like, in the middle of the test, are we going to fail?
Yeah. You have a week to remember all the steps, but you're going to be doing problems, so I don't think it'll be an issue. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my own stat plot here, approximately. Okay, I'm going to do like a little broken line and start here at 120. Okay, and it does not have to be perfect by any means. It's an approximation. Scatter plots are kind of crazy anyways. Okay, so at 5.6, I'm at 120. At 6.2, I'm at 130. 7, I'm at 141. 7.3, I'm at 156. And 8.4, I'm at 167. Okay, so what's happening with this one? Okay, it's strong positive. Okay, so this is part A. Okay, now part B, we need to use our calculator. Alright, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to try to type it in on your own. Second quit. Anytime you want to get out of something, just hit second quit. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You just have to know which one is your X and which one is your Y. I always do them in order X, Y, but... Okay, when you see your stat plot, it should look approximately equal to this. Okay, obviously they're going to use a little bit more accurate increments, so it might look slightly different. What? Your Y? What? 6.2.
Yeah, my Y never cleared. L2 never cleared.
Just type over it then. Huh? Sounds good.
L2 is not clear, then it won't let me type over it.
You just have to start typing numbers and it'll just do it.
I did, but it started typing them at the bottom. So what does it not let me do?
Then you have to arrow up to get over top of the first one. Literally go to, look, make sure you have it, you're all the way up at the top one. So it sounds like yours is down here, and it's starting to type stuff. So your list should look like this. Okay, we only have like 5 minutes left, so we need to run through this. Alright. Then go to your second stat plot, make sure it's on. The scatter plot option is picked. X list L1, Y list L2. Second, and then stat plot. I didn't plug in the X value yet. But that's probably pretty close to accurate based on what I got with numbers. Alright, so then zoom 9 for stat. I already drew my line, so my line's drawn through it.
When you said you hit second click, yes, what does that mean? It's all gone. I have to do it with that?
No, it should still be there. It should still be stored unless you cleared everything.
What are the steps after this?
So then, after you do that, then you hit stat 4, or no, hold on, sorry, stat calc number 4, chisel and reg. Type in your X list, your Y list, and then store it in Y1. I'm not going to do it again because I already have it saved.
Yeah, mine's all gone. So what do you do?
Go back to your stat list.
How do you do that again?
Stat, edit.
Oh, there it is. The store thing. You know how you
Hit alpha, then the word trace, and then just select one of the Y's. I would do Y1, but hit calculate. Frequency list doesn't get anything. Store reg EQ is alpha trace, and then pick a Y variable. I didn't do that part yet. I stopped after the equation because everybody's asking questions. But you still have to show it by, like, showing me that you're plugging in 20 for x in that equation. So you still have to show it like this when you do it. And then you can just give me a number after that, but that way I see that you know what you're doing in terms of plugging it in.
You can plug it into the, like, y thing, because it has line, and you can go over here and see the speed.
Yeah. Zoom 9. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So just go down to where, so it was, get it down to where it's like over the mark, because if not, it's going to think you want to do something. And then hit zoom 9, and then now you have that part. Yes.
Okay, and when you're writing it, you just have to go like 3 lines. So like
Just go to 1 decimal place.
Okay.
Alright, we will finish this problem tomorrow. Okay, the only person that should be leaving is Joelle and the person helping her.